Ladies and gentlemen, BMNR just went through a very interesting situation. We have to cover it. So this will be a quick video, but very important. So first up, yesterday on Monday, whenever BMNR ended up running up a ton, we ended up seeing their new ETH holdings cash, their whole positions. What we ended up seeing is that people loved BMNR because Ethereum was also running. They thought maybe the crypto winter was over. Today, a completely different situation. A sell back down under $30 per share, down 7% at the close. However, this is the total BMNR Ethereum holdings over time. It's continued to climb, but the rate in which that growth has sort of really slowed down. Whenever we look at the change in Ethereum or the amount of added Ethereum over time, this has also slowed down. The trend continues to fall as they are not buying up as much Ethereum as what they've recently have seen. It's sort of weird. As Ethereum falls, you would think that they'd be able to get more Ethereum, but the premium on BMNR is also falling. So they don't actually have the ability to buy as much new Ethereum as what you would previously expect. That said, we continue to climb, and now they're at a total of 3% of the Ethereum supply. Okay, so we're about 60% of the way to their 5% goal, which is sort of where they want to settle out at. Maybe they continue to grow to 10%, but this will at least allow them to have a really high controlling stake in Ethereum, have good voting share, be able to stake, and not only stake, but stake with additional benefits because they have such a huge supply. So maybe seeing, rather than a 3% staking rate, probably closer to about 4% just because of the size that they're totally at. For the people who are into the math and the spreadsheets, this is essentially all the numbers that you need from Ethereum as of the time of recording this video. The market cap is sitting at 11.1 billion. They're at 384 million total shares. The share price was $28.91. The BMNR Ethereum holdings is now at 3.6 million. At the time of recording this video, $2,961 per ETH. BMNR MNAV on ETH is 10.75 billion, meaning that their ETH per share is sitting at $27.99, or a very, very tiny MNAV premium of 1.03. Okay, very different than where we were before, however, still holding up a premium. That being said, there's something that we're missing. The cash on BMNR is now sitting at 800 million, the highest that BMNR has ever seen. Okay, this has recently surpassed where we were whenever they were first getting started. They're at 775 million. Now they're at 800 million. Now, presuming that they are just going to use this to buy more Ethereum, which is what they've done with all of their money in the past, we can essentially add this to their MNAV if we picture it as Ethereum going forward, and add this in to the MNAV and cash multiple. This actually makes them much cheaper. And in fact, to buy their just straight Ethereum in cash is worth more than what BMNR is worth today. Meaning, if you buy BMNR, you're getting a discount on Ethereum and cash. Don't you like to buy cash for less cash? I mean, that's a pretty interesting situation that we have here. So essentially what this means is that there's more likely a bullish scenario where more money gets poured into BMNR than the other way around, because we're actually under MNAV of Ethereum and cash. Exactly what do they do with this cash? As we said, well, they're buying more Ethereum. An additional $80 million has been spotted in the exact same buying patterns that we've seen on Falcon X, which is one of the premium partners of Bitmine Immersion. So this could be an additional 80 million, but still, they still have $720 million in cash. Now, as Ethereum continues to go up, this will benefit BMNR, but they're actually under MNAV. So for me, this is a buying opportunity. Like I said, once we add on staking, this is also going to add an additional premium. Not only are they going to be able to stake, but they're going to be able to make more than I would be able to make if I ended up staking my own Ethereum, because of the size of the total holdings and their ability to create their own validator networks. Next, I also wanted to highlight, and this is very quick, I don't want to drag this on too long, but Ethereum is ended up seeing larger and larger benefits. Now, the ones that we've seen over the past week or so, not too many. However, there are some that I want to highlight. The total stablecoin supply over the last month has sort of been declining over the last couple of weeks. And this has been worrying investors. Maybe we've hit the sort of top of this recent run-up. However, this is not broken down between any of the different actual chains. Whenever we do break it down, what we end up seeing is that Ethereum is actually at an all-time high, where a lot of the other chains are actually losing steam or losing total dollars. How many? Well, we can break that down. Take a look at Ethereum on the stablecoin supply chain over the last 1 month. Stablecoins are actually flowing about an additional $4 billion into Ethereum while massively leaving names like Arbitrum, Solana, and Plasma. So it is not equal, although the total stablecoin supply might point you to think that this market is actually shrinking. It's not. It's just heavily going in the face of more Ethereum while other names are losing steam. Then we also saw Coinbase enable a new ability to borrow against your Ethereum, giving a new use case for Ethereum and actually allowing you to take cash out without having to sell your Ethereum. More ways to actually utilize your Ethereum means more investors will be more keen to invest in this type of asset. That's very good. The next is actually Cash App, and no one saw this coming, or at least a lot of the people that believe that Cash App was more of a Bitcoin maximalist institution, which is what they've been for the last many years. Their 58 million active users, like monthly active users, will now be able to start sending and receiving stable coins, which will include Ethereum as well. This opens up a massive use case for many, many millions of active users that might not be crypto savvy, but it does open up, their ability to send money abroad, cross-border transfers, these sort of things, allow them to lower their costs and open up some new opportunities to send money. So this, I think, actually leads more people to Ethereum because stablecoins are growing, and they're growing specifically in the face for Ethereum. The next thing I want to highlight as well is the Fusaka upgrade on Ethereum. Coming December 3rd, we are going to see upgrades across lower gas fees for L1s and L2s. The UX is getting much better on the L1 for Ethereum. We have safer staking and better interoperability across L2s on Ethereum. Lastly, I just wanted to highlight Brian Armstrong's recent message about the Clarity Act that might be passing. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase CEO here. I'm in the halls of Congress, back again, pushing for market structure legislation. We've seen a lot of progress since I was last here. We've now seen draft text shared by the Senate Ad Committee. Senate Banking is also working nights and weekends to get the next iteration of their text out. So we've got a good chance, I think, of a markup for this bill in December, and hopefully get it to the president's desk shortly thereafter. This would be a big milestone to get crypto unlocked with clear rules in the US, which would benefit all companies. But of course, Coinbase wants to be the top crypto company, so we're working hard on product in the meantime as well. And December 17th, we've got our product event, which you can tune in on the live stream to see everything we've been building in the second half of this year. Thanks all of you for continuing to show up and contact your representatives and keep pushing for clear rules for crypto in the United States. We will keep doing our part here as well to try to make it happen. Thanks so much.
To summarize, crypto is a bipartisan issue, and they hope to get something through with the draft text going back and forth and get fully completed by the end of this year. There's also Coinbase's own product announcements, which they're going to be putting out December 17th, which their L2 is built directly on Base. That's their L2, which is on Ethereum. Okay. So all of the benefits that they end up putting out and whatever they are going to show on that event also directly correlates with Ethereum, potentially bringing more gas fees and eventually, hopefully, benefiting BMNR. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the BMNR updates, keeping it short and simple. Until next time, bye for now.